holds on to a 117-114 victory. And you can see Damian Lillard is rightly irate as his heroic effort comes up short thanks to that egregious missed goaltend.
He is. He's 100% right. He is 100% right. I'm going to compliment Josh Tiven. They screwed up. The officials absolutely missed this call. But he...
Yeah, man. Hit that like button, man. Sub, all that good stuff. So, NBA had a game last night, prime time. The Blazers and the fucking Utah Jazz. Now, look, just check this out first. So, the Jazz are the 4th seed. They're 33-18. The Blazers are the 9th seed. They're 24-29 now. The Blazers are a perennial playoff team. I think they made the playoffs like 4 out of the last 5 years. They just was in the Western Conference Finals over a year ago, I believe, if not the year before last. Got pretty much thrashed by the Warriors. But, you know, with all that being said, because the Blazers had such a slow start, which is why they brought in Melo, because they needed offense, because they didn't have that much depth, and Dame was out earlier this year with a back injury. So every game is critical at this point as they approached All-Star, which is the half of the NBA season. Everyone's pushing for the playoffs. They haven't given up. They're the 9th seed. I definitely think they're better than Memphis. You know, they're trying to get in the playoffs. So every game is critical. So they have this game last night where Dame goes off. Dame is like the hottest nigga in the NBA right now. At one point, he was averaging like 40-something points a game. Put up 27 in the first half. And as you hear in this clip, Dame only got 3 free throw attempts. And they lost the game to a bullshit call as Dame was driving into the paint. And it should have been a goaltend. If the least, if not a goaltend, it should have been 2 free throws. And they didn't call it. And it was in Utah, one of the hardest places to win in the league. And they lost the game. You know, and you hear Dame go off, and you see in the videos, Dame was like ready to fight somebody. And listen to his response when they interviewed him. Which is the dumbest shit they ask, stupid ass questions.
They double teaming me, trapping me, trying to be physical. I shot 3 free throws the whole game. I'm telling them they grabbing, they bumping, they holding the whole game. That's fine. We get to the last play of the game, and they miss an easy call. And then they tell us it's an easy no call. Like that was obviously not a goal team. It cost us a game, man. It cost us a game.
What do you say about the way you guys played throughout the night?
I love the way we played. We was on the back-to-back against a team that plays really well at home. And we came out and did what we were supposed to do. We had a great first half. They made their run, got back into the game, and we weathered the storm, and we gave ourselves a chance to win a tough game on the road. And like I said, man, they cost us a game. It's an easy call. 3 referees out there, and they don't call that. And I don't want to hear I don't want to see no report about, oh, we should have called it or none of that. Man, they cost us a game. We in a playoff race, and they cost us a game on an easy call.
Seems like throughout the entire game, it was chippy.
No call. And then miss a goaltender. Cost us a game.
Is there anything you say to the rest of the guys? I mean, is there anything to kind of take the sting out of it, or is it just...
Ain't no way to take the sting out of it. We can't have the game back. They cost us a game. It's a loss on our record. We in a playoff race, and we need every game that we can get, and we have that type of effort, and they missed that easy call like that. And then you want us to walk away and say nothing? Cost us a game. Of course we're going to have something to say about it, man. That's BS.
Tell him.
Your thoughts on
And then some people are like, well, he's a leader. He shouldn't be saying stuff like that, negativity. Look, sometimes you got to keep it real. You got to keep it funky, nigga. You got to tell the truth, nigga. When the shit stinks, they got fucked. They got screwed. And it's always been people, some people think sports is rigged. Some people don't think it is. I think between Vegas and the NFL, because I've heard reports that Vegas is in the locker room. Look at that. 3 officials, 3 referees, and one of them, nobody seen that mistake. And what's the point of having instant replay if you're not going to go back and watch these replays and say, okay, we made a mistake, let's go back before we finish the game off with no seconds on the clock? Instant replay is a joke. It's the biggest contradiction in sports. It helps nobody hardly, because you're still having teams getting screwed by last second bad calls, either where they're not getting called or where they're just letting shit slide. And that was a bad slide call right there. They didn't call it. And I can't blame Dame. And like I say, the referees are known for fucking up calls and then apologizing the next day. And it's like, well, that apology isn't going to let us play those last 3 minutes that you fucked us over. You know, I'm still stunned that he only had 3 free throw attempts. And Dame isn't just some pure shooter who doesn't attack the basket. So that's really awkward because you've only really had one big controversy in the NBA where it got exposed, and that was the Tim Donaghy shit in 2002 when the Kings played the Lakers. To me, the Kings were better that year, and that was the first year in the Lakers dynasty where they were clearly outmatched, and it went to 7 games. And in Game 7, the Lakers went to the free throw line like 43 times, and the Kings went like 12 times. Tim Donaghy got fucking exploited, and it was all over the place. But there's still a lot of referees that are into gambling, they're into betting, things like that, and they call the calls that way they see it. Now you got 3 refs, and none out of all 3 of them, none of them thought that wasn't goaltend. That's some fishy shit. Now, now obviously, maybe somebody wanted Utah to win. Maybe it's a home field advantage thing, a home court advantage. I don't know. And then eventually, 2020, players got to go on social media. So Donovan Mitchell had a press conference, and he wasn't even talking about the situation. He was just like, I don't see why a guy like Gary Kent should come in and think we can just punk us. We're not a team that you can come in and just talk trash to us. We're going to not back down. We kind of lacked the last few games. Dame is like, man, stop. Like, as far as, man, stop. Fuck all that shit. Y'all won because the referees saved y'all asses at home. And then Donovan Mitchell's like, I said what I said, ... Donovan's not a tough guy. Dame's not a tough guy either, but I always like Dame because Dame is a cut from an old school cloth. Dame is like, he grew up in a competitive era watching guys who weren't buddy, rubbing elbows, and he's not joining a super team. He's not with that philosophy. And he's like, fuck that. I'm not here to be friends with you niggas. I'm here to bust y'all ass. He inherits that Kobe Bryant kind of mentality. Him and his rivalry, respectful rivalry with Westbrook, and even with Donovan Mitchell, who I don't think is quite on his level, and he's definitely not a star yet. But, Dame and him exchange words. But, yeah, the referees have always been in some bullshit. And like I say, I'm pretty sure they'll come out with an apology today that means absolutely nothing. And I don't know. They just need to work on it. But, yeah, sports sometimes is definitely scripted. And don't fucking question it because sports falls under the entertainment category, which is under Hollywood. I believe a lot of the shit is scripted down to a T, from the numbers, the calls, the shit that just doesn't make any sense. And like I say, us fans, we continue to watch. So, they're going to continue to do what they do.